I want to talk more about psychics and mediums and who the heck are you giving your money to, and a little bit about me, a little bit of my knowledge, how I got here, what you should be looking for or trying to avoid when you're trying to connect to a psychic or a medium, or even just trying to do it yourself, because this isn't a, gift that you have to be born with. Anyone can connect to their past loved ones or their spirit guides or receive messages, and we're doing it all the time. Sometimes we just don't really notice it. When your loved one is coming to you in a dream and saying something to you, that's kind of a psychic mediumship ability. And so I am a professional psychic medium. I started my own business in 2019, and I was doing the math before this. I've given 827 readings in the past, kind of mostly 2020, because we're only 4 months into 2021. I started my business the very end of 2019. So that's just how I have learned and picked up some common things along the way. So the first thing that I think is interesting is, when someone says they're a psychic or a medium, I have a really strong tendency to believe them because, like I said, it's not rocket science. And I feel that if somebody were to intuitively be doing readings for so long, every kind of day, connecting to people and just like dipping their toes into meditation and the spirit world and spirit guides, that they would be highly intuitive. So I believe people when they say, I'm connecting to this person, they're not coming through. I have a lot of different opinions than some people that I've seen on the internet or on social media or wherever. In my psychic readings, what I do is I, ask what kind of reading that we want to do. And I have 15-minute readings, 30-minute, 60-minute, and they're over the phone or over Zoom. For those readings, you're allowed to do whatever you want to do. If you want to connect to a past loved one or 3 past loved ones in 15 minutes, yeah, sure, let's do it. Let's talk really fast and just like get the important kind of stuff out. I've seen people where they'll say, no, this is 60 minutes. This is going to take 60 minutes or even 90 minutes. I love my clients so much, but I can't imagine really talking to the phone for 90 minutes or just like talking for 90 minutes. But anyways, so in my readings, I ask who you want to connect with, because I feel, your grandma's around you, your great grandma's around you, your parents, if they're in spirit, any siblings or babies or children, any past loved ones, or in your animals as well, always around us, especially if they, get word in the spirit world or wherever that you're going to be talking to a psychic medium and connecting to the spirit world. Everyone is going to be around you. So what I do in my readings is I say, who do you want to connect with? What is their first name? Just so I can kind of open the door to them and then close the door for, grandma or whoever that we don't really necessarily want to talk to today in our time together. And after getting their first name, don't ask for anything else. I say a little prayer intention. I say, spirit guides, spirit team, I'm asking that these people come through. If they're not, I'll just say what I say. I feel for the sake of people watching YouTube, maybe you don't really care, but for the sake of someone critiquing or wanting to learn, here's what I say. I say, spirit guides, spirit team, I'm asking as we approach the spirit world that we're protected by love and light. And if this person or this person or this person aren't too busy, that they would come and talk with us. And I say, I'm asking my spirit guides and your spirit guides to be present, and that what comes through is clear and accurate, healing, and received with love. So then if we want to connect to the people in spirit first, if they're coming through very, very strongly, or if I don't really want them to keep them waiting, when I say keep them waiting, if I don't want them standing kind of 3 feet away from me, staring at me for however long until we get to them, I'm going to say, let's talk to your loved ones first, if that's okay with you. And I will feel into who the first person is. I will look at them in my mind's eye and be like, okay, so they look like they're older. They have this kind of hair. They look like they're a little bit aged. They look like they're in their 50s. They're wearing kind of this era kind of looks like it's from this. And then I will feel into their heart, their energy, and I'll pick up that, it's very kind of like motherly like, or overprotective, or like a friend or a cousin. And I'll say, This is what I'm seeing. They look like this. They're very put together. They're very pretty. It feels like they're wearing earrings. It feels like they got facial hair. They have salt and pepper kind of hair. They're showing up in their 50s. They're wearing this. Who is this to you? Is this and then I'll say a mom or a grandma for you. Sometimes, if you're lucky, I'll say like, this is your grandfather and he is so happy that he's on the list and he's got a lot of things that he says to you. In my, just discovering how other people operate, they will say that you have this person around you, and I have found that we don't know who that is, or we don't really want to talk to that person. So that's just why I say, what's their name? Let's go get them. And if they're not too busy, that they would come and talk with us. So I feel like this is a little bit of when people say they're not coming through, they don't want to talk. More than 9 times out of 10, they do want to talk and they do want to come through for you, even if it's just a hello, I love you so much. Everyone wants to really, really talk to you. I've had a few people where they were busy. Nikola Tesla, for example, they were busy, they were doing something else, they just didn't have the patience, they didn't want to show up, but we were still able to get like a running kind of message of like, hi, bye, they look like this, they're doing this, they want to say this, but it's never, crickets. It's never, nobody is showing up. Nobody's kind of picking the phone up 99% of the time, 99.9% of the time. So that's just, I don't know, that's just to shed a little light on that. What else I've noticed in my psychic readings is our loved ones and our spirit guides, and then what even are kind of spirit guides. Spirit guides are people who, if we believe, when we come to earth or when we incarnate, when we, before we're born and stuff, we have a plan, we have a mission, we have what we want to accomplish, what we want to do, our goals, any kind of karma, which I don't know if I believe in that, just our intentions and stuff. And in the spirit world, or wherever, heaven or whatever we want to call it, source, we have people who are looking out for us, and we've made a contract, we've made a plan. They're going to be pulling strings for us. They're going to be showing us coincidences and synchronicities, and we're just going to be kind of working together. So everybody has spirit guides. Nobody is super alone, drop down on earth, and we're just trying to make it. Everyone has these kind of people on the other side where you can get messages through meditation or a psychic or just your own kind of like hunches or repeating numbers, especially when you ask for them, especially when you acknowledge that you have spirit guides. Sometimes all it takes is spirit guides. I acknowledge that I have spirit guides now. What do you want me to know? What can you show me? Show me a cantaloupe in the next week, or show me repeating numbers, or show me a whole bunch of synchronicities, which is what a synchronicity is. It's basically like a coincidence of like, you were thinking about this, you were talking about this, and then the next day, like this showed up wherever. It's kind of like the secret spy stuff that when we're talking to somebody about something, it shows up on our Google or a Facebook kind of newsfeed. It's kind of like that. That's a synchronicity, but there's no government or spies or electronic or whatever behind it. It's just the universal kind of magic. And it's not rare, but it's pretty special when we have a past loved one, a grandma or a great grandma, for example, who is one of our spirit guides, because they lived with us, and when they kind of transitioned or before we reincarnated, they're not there kind of like actively to be pulling strings for us. I guess I kind of said that in the wrong kind of way, because time space doesn't really work out like that at all. Our loved ones aren't super our spirit guides most of the time, because there's a difference. There's what they want for us is maybe different than what we really want for our lives. We connected with our spirit guides before to say, hey, I gotta learn this lesson, I gotta do this, I gotta bite this bullet now, I really want to focus on this, and I really want to learn how to do this. And then when we have our great grandmother or whoever, she's not really going to know or push us to help us like learn these things. It's going to be more of, I love you so much, or I'm pulling strings for you for whatever you kind of want, or I just want to make sure that you're okay. So that's why there's like a difference. And when connecting to spirit guides, I feel that how they look what their names are is a little bit irrelevant. Some people are, you know, here are all of the names of your spirit guides, and they are, you know, a Native American or whoever. When I'm connecting to your spirit guides, it's telepathic, and it's mostly just, ooh, they are very logical, or they are very loving, or they're very kind of grounded, let's get to work, push, 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 push. Their energy, their essence, their spirit is going to be what works with you best. I'm very logical. My spirit guide's very logical. Let's talk about A, B, C, D, and how to get to like the square root of whatever is going on in my life. Other people's spirit guides are more of like, you got it, you're doing great, because they just need that encouragement. That's just how they work most efficiently or whatever. So your spirit guides, their energy, their essence is going to be like exactly what you need. And when someone asks me what do they look like, that's when I will tune in a little bit more and, you know, say, they feel like this. They give me the impression of Beauty and the Beast mixed with Wild Things, mixed with Bigfoot, and the way that they look to me is a little bit cartoony, because it feels like when you were a kid that they were kind of your spirit guide. So I feel that we have 50, 200, 1,000, I don't know how many spirit guides. I just would imagine that it's a whole bunch who I'm focusing on in my readings, connecting, like conveying the messages back and forth to the, like your best kind of benefit. It's going to be kind of like what I understand. And what I understand is alien-y kind of spirit guides, really, really fun, cartoony kind of spirit guides, instead of somebody who is a Native American or whatever. So what I'm trying to say is, when we're connecting to your spirit guides, I'm going to be picking up the ones who kind of are the same lingo as I would understand, and the way that I would piece together a person who is very, very loving and sweet and gentle, and was also like with you when you were younger. What else is a common thing? When it comes to curses, hexes, entities, evil kind of stuff around you, this is a big deal. I mean, this is a big topic. I could talk about this for forever. It could be a whole nother video in itself. I don't think that people have curses or hexes on them, attached to them, as, you know, often as someone else might think, or how it's kind of portrayed in the media. I don't know if you have heard the kind of saying that you can't really get hexed unless you're believing in that and buying into that, or thinking I must be cursed or something. You can't really get manipulated in the way of like a voodoo or whatever going on with you, unless you kind of attach yourself to that fragment or thinking or thought. So most of the time it's just when I feel so drained, I must have an entity, I must have like some kind of negative whatever attachment to me. This is probably our environment, or the people that we're around, where they have negative kind of tendencies, or they're trying to work through stuff, or they're just like leaking or exuding their issues or whatever they have going on, accident or not. And us being really, really close to that might be why it feels like we have an evil kind of entity or energy or something attached to us. I have had so many people come to me and say, you know, and kind of frantic, I had a reading from somebody and they told me I had this negative entity, curse attached to me. Do you do anything with those? And I will read this person. Usually this is at the end of the reading, you know, after I told them all the really, really nice things that never came up. I'll read this person just to make sure that they're good, that there isn't anything attached, that their aura field is like feeling good. And I'll say, you know, feel into if that feels true for you. I don't believe that you have an entity or anything negative or scary. I'm sure that this person was valid, or maybe just valid and everything, and maybe just like more on the fear side of stuff. And if it feels like true or congruent with you, then maybe it wasn't, you know, a give me more money kind of thing, but I think that you are perfectly fine. So I just wanted to say, and then for exorcisms and things like this, yes, I do believe in that, because I've talked to my spirit guides about it. And basically what they said was kind of the same thing of when we are younger, or we have like traumas or abuse, or we just like witness these like darker kind of tendencies from people and this negative yuck feeling kind of behavior, and we really just, you know, took on a lot of that and have a lot of kind of like issues emotionally and mentally. When we're playing with that low frequency, or when we're accidentally kind of stuck in it from childhood, and then you know, that's still kind of like festering depression and you know, things, traumas and stuff that we just haven't been able to work through yet, that's when, if someone is kind of super into and involved with darker kind of stuff, negative entities or energies or even people, that's when something like an exorcism or an exorcist, whatever it's called, a possession is actually the word, right? That's when something is more not likely to happen, but it's like actually kind of possible. So if you feel that you're fine, you feel that you have more kind of okay days than bad, and you're not in the doom, gloom, thick of, you know, everything really, really bad, and we're not just, you know, like feeding all that out and just like attracting it back into us, you're gonna be fine. You are probably not gonna get possessed by anything. You would have asked me a year ago or 2 years ago if I believed in evil spirits and entities. I would have said no, everything is kind of mostly love and light, and maybe a little bit misunderstood, because, and my reality at the time was all of these people coming to me with haunted houses or evil spirits or negative energies. It was grandma, it was grandpa, it was their loved ones just being around their house. And I used to make the example of, if your loved one is hurting so bad, and you're watching them and you're with them, the only thing that you could do was make the lights flicker a little bit. Don't you think you would make the lights flicker just to let them know, hey, I am okay and I love you so much? So I guess this is just, you know, part one of some things that I wanted to clear up and share my perspective about. If you did want to book a reading with me, you can go to my website, Jamie D Intuitive. Like I said, I do 15 minutes right now. Maybe, you know, by the time you're seeing this video, my prices might have changed, but I don't plan on changing them anytime soon. My 15-minute readings are $40. My 30-minute readings are $75, and my 60-minute readings are $150. These are over the phone, and if you wanted to do this over Zoom for a 30-minute or a 60-minute reading, then that's just going to be an extra $40, where it's over Zoom video and it's recorded, so you'll be able to keep it and have it forever. I also do pet readings, where I connect to your animals, living or in spirit, and share those messages, and for animals who are living, you know, the health kind of stuff. In my psychic readings, what I usually focus on is connecting to your past loved ones, if you want to, and conveying all of those messages, everything that they want to say, if you have any questions for them, and then your kind of life stuff of what your spirit guides and stuff wants you to know, any kind of like career, financial, relationship, intuition, spirit guide, any kind of questions like that is what I specialize in, I guess. And yeah, I also have a couple other fun things that I do, but you know, that's all going to be on my website. I created a workbook recently where it's like an ebook kind of style workbook, where I show you how to open up and learn how to develop your psychic and intuitive abilities. And I have a couple videos that offer the same kind of thing. And if you wanted to connect with me further, you can find me on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. And I have Patreon also, where I answer 3 questions for you every single month for $30, or on my HeyHero, which is a website platform, HeyHero. You can send in a question to me, and usually there's going to be a discount for 20% off whatever kind of month it was. If you're watching this in April, the 20% off discount for that, I believe for your first question, it's just April showers. But thanks for watching.